What's going on, guys? Mr. Clasher here. Welcome back to another Clash Royale video. In today's video, guys, I'll be talking about the new decks that have been revealed inside King's Cup Challenge. Now, I'll be talking about every single one of these decks, and there is a specific deck you get in each of the single challenges. Now, personally, towards the end of the video or right now, I'm going to talk about, I guess, both times that Clash Royale should add a little bit more features inside King's Cup Challenge. Now, I know they added the magical chest, all those special packs, special value packs that you can buy for 99 cents, $5, and $10. But in terms of decks, I think the decks are very specific, and I think they need to add a couple more decks or switch them up. So, pretty much a Reddit user named Throwaway the Fourth on Reddit from Clash Royale actually found the deck and found all the decks that are inside the King's Cup Challenge. So the first one he named it is the X-Bowler. Basically, it's a Fireball, the Bowler, the X-Bow, the Zap, the Princess, the Mini P.E.K.K.A, or you get an Ice Spirit or a Fire Spirit, one of those two. The next deck you get is a Frozen Hog, which is a Hog Rider, the Free Spell, the Wizard, the Ice Wizard, sorry, the Poison, the Knight, and the Goblins, the Spear Goblin. So, I don't think I've gotten that deck yet. I did get the X-Bowler deck, but I haven't gotten the Frozen deck yet. There's the Raging Balloon, which I have got before. You get the Archers, the Witch, the Rage, the Balloon, the Minions, the Zap, and the Fire Spirits or the Ice Spirit. So, the next deck is called the Mirror Miner Muskies deck. And it's basically the Miner, the Three Musketeers, the Knight, the Zap, the Elixir Collector, the Mirror, the Fire Spirits, or Ice Spirits. So I've gotten this deck as well. The only deck I don't think I've ever gotten was either the Dark Lightning, which I'll get to, or the Frozen Hawk. So the next deck is the Go Log Go. You get the Golem, the Log, the Elixir Collector, the Archers, the Musketeer, the Minion Horde, and the Ice Spirit or Fire Spirit. Just depends. And the very last deck you get is the Dark Lightning. It's basically a Lumberjack, the Dark Prince, the Lightning Spell, the Spear Goblins, the Archers, and the Skeleton Army. So, basically, guys, for the Frozen Hog, as I mentioned inside the deck, you do get a defensive building, I believe, because there is a missing spot, and it says unit mid support, or it's a building defense, so I'm not sure what goes in there. Maybe a defense or some type of other card. So I believe that's the only card. And also for the Dark Lightning, like I just mentioned, you'll also, it says unit cheap flying and the building hut. So you get, I guess, a sort of type of building, kind of like, maybe like, what do you call it? Let's see, what kind of huts? There's not the Builder hut, there's the Barbarian. There's also the Spear Goblin hut and the Fire Spirit hut as well. So it's a pretty cool thing if you look at this chart, which I already showed the picture of, but if you guys go on Twitter, you find it on Chief Patter. You can find it also on my Twitter page as well. That this is just crazy, guys. I can't believe that a player actually found out all the decks, and it's pretty informative because it gives, like, let's see how many decks. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks to choose from now. Personally, 6 decks to play from is not a ton of options, and today's battle, I faced a player with the same Golem deck, which was the Go Log Go deck. It was the Golem and the Archers, the Musketeer, the Minion Horde, and the Ice and Fire Spirits. I have actually got that deck before, and I actually faced the same player, or different player, but with the same deck as I just had. So it was interesting. Golem versus Golem, Musketeer versus Musketeer, Fireball versus other Fireball. It's just a really interesting deck, and it's pretty cool that right off the bat that a player from Reddit actually found specific decks. So personally, I think Clash Royale needs to add more decks inside the game, switch them up, and maybe get better achievements, because King's Cup Challenge, I understand you get the special value packs, but I think there's going to be a little bit more into that. Let's say if you win like 12 wins, you get maybe a special reward like 50 gems or something like that. Just because all the challenges, you only get, like the Classic Challenge, you only get common cards, I believe, or mostly common cards if it's not only common cards. In Grand Challenge, you can win commons, rares, epics, legendaries as well, but it's also 100 gems to play, so it's a little more expensive than the 10 gems Classic Challenge. And the King's Cup Challenge is really fun, but I think when you face another deck that's the same deck as yours, and you already know what kind of decks you've been playing with over time, players are going to get eventually a little bit bored of playing with the same deck, facing other, similar decks, or this pretty much the same decks, like the Golem deck or the Mirror Miner Musketeer deck, or maybe the Raging Balloon, which will be really annoying playing a player exactly with the same deck. So it's pretty cool, you know, seeing and knowing what kind of decks there are inside this game, inside the King's Cup Challenge. So I wanted to make a video to tell you guys about different decks. Now, I'm not sure if these are the 100%, but these do look very, very similar. So I believe these are the decks. Now, they do, there is a spell mid damage, and there are different type of things that Clash Royale does maybe slightly twist up inside each deck. Maybe instead of like a troop, maybe like instead of a musketeer, you get a fireball or something. There are very small tweaks inside each deck. It's not like, you know, specific set in stone, but these are the decks you get, and there are some changes inside each deck, maybe slightly, but it's pretty much even on with the same decks this player actually brought up. So it's a very cool chart to look back and pretty much know what kind of deck you're facing or what kind of deck you get. Personally, I think King's Cup Challenge is only it's not a very competitive. I'm not gonna put it in under competitive like the Grand Challenges. King's Cup Challenge is basically like a fun event, different decks. You know, you just have fun doing it. But personally, it's not competitive by any means whatsoever. Even though it is a challenge, honestly, being competitive, you have your own deck and you know your deck is really good and you do win. With this, it pretty much gives you random decks and you pretty much have to win with the deck. And I've had some really close battles, and it's frustrating. Some of the decks are not the best. Like the Bowler Expo deck is not really that good. I really hate the Expo, and it's a very expensive deck as well, pretty pricey. And then there's also the Golem deck, which is a little expensive too. I mean, the decks are okay. I mean, they're just random, but you know, obviously I'm comfortable with the Hog Rider deck and the Frozen Hawk. I haven't tried yet, but it does look pretty good. So it's a Hog Rider cycle deck. But anyway, I really hope you guys did enjoy the video. In the comment section below, tell me what you guys think about this new find. And as always, I'll see you all on the next video.